Hey, it's the right weekend. And as you can see from the title of the article, I live in Pennsylvania. So I'm making this video for specifically for people in Pennsylvania and why I'm encouraging people to vote for Dr. Oz and Doug Mastriano. And I put those two because those are the big names. Nobody knows nobody knows the lieutenant governor ever. But in this case, the lieutenant there's a the lieutenant governor is running um, for Senate. That's the only reason people know who he is. Other than that, name me in other states, name me the lieutenant governor. No one really knows. So when it comes to with Dr. Oz, why I link this, I'm going to get into it. Why I'm linking this to cheap gas prices. I just find it funny some of the attack ads I've seen, especially when it comes to Dr. Oz. I saw one attack ad attacking the fact that he has dual citizenship as with Turkey. So he's a Turkish citizen and an American citizen. So I find it funny that in attack ads they attack him as being a Turkish citizen. Okay. Then in another attack ad, they claim he's anti-immigration because of his stance against illegal immigration, which everybody should be against illegal immigration. Okay. You want to come into this country, you come in legally. Okay. And I'm not going to even get into Mastriano's, what they keep talking about him and the QAnon stuff, because you know what? You have the Blue Anon people too that believe all crazy conspiracy theories. You got the mainstream media, gave us the Russian collusion hoax for uh, all of Trump's presidency, and people still believe that the Steele dossier was true. Okay. So when Trump left office, gas was cheap. While he was in office, gas was cheap because he encouraged policies to produce oil here. Okay. And people will be like, oh, but we export oil to other countries. So what does it matter? And it's oil is traded globally. If we're not producing it and other countries aren't producing it, then in turn, prices are going to go up because there's less oil and a high demand. So basic supply and demand. So what's gone on with this administration is they don't want oil production here because they want to appease their climate agenda people on their side. So that's why he went to OPEC Plus and then Saudi Arabia begging them to produce more oil to drop down the price. That's why he's doing a dangerous stance of releasing oil from the strategic oil reserves to lower the prices just for the midterms, because he doesn't give a shit after the midterms as long as the Democrats don't get trounced, which I'm hoping they do. Not because I'm a Republican, but because the fact that I want just the whole thing. Why do cheap gas prices matter? It matters because not only because what people pay at the pump and how it affects day-to-day lives with traveling, but it also affects your food prices. That's why food prices have been skyrocketing. That's why inflation is going up, is with these high gas prices, because there's low oil production. Diesel prices have gone through the roof. And they're talking about shortage, which is going to make the diesel price goes up even more. What transports our food? Trucks. Trucks transport our foods. And guess what? If the diesel prices are high, that means the cost to transport that food to your supermarket is going up. Hence, that's why I say you got to vote for Dr. Oz and Mastriano. Why? Here in Pennsylvania, okay, and I'm going to start with Mastriano because he's running to be governor. And what I love is the fact that he wants to create energy production here in Pennsylvania, which means more revenue for the state of Pennsylvania, more revenue for education, for law enforcement, for which is important to us, roads, potholes, bridges, all that stuff, because we get bad winters, and bad winters mess up the roads. So here, I just want to show a clip. I'm going to show this one first. Let me put it here on the screen. Why I say you got to, if you want low gas prices, you got to vote for, in Pennsylvania. Here's why you should support Mastriano. And this is, oh, I'm showing myself. Sorry about that. So here we go. Here's a clip when Doug Mastriano was on the Timcast IRL show.
But Pennsylvania has the resources to become a leader in energy in the world with our natural gas. We have one of the largest natural gas deposits around the globe. We have great high-quality coal. We have high-quality oil. So my goal is, as governor, of course, is to make us number one in energy production. There's $100 million of potential wealth out there to be received by Pennsylvania if we can produce that much. It's all about capability. My goal is to have a pipeline to Philly, out to Delaware, so we can start exporting to Boston, because Boston had to bring in Russian ships in 2018 in that cold winter. You remember the madness because of the pipe? There was no pipelines from Pennsylvania, so they brought in 2 ships from Siberia, 4,000 miles away. So I want to be able to support Boston, but maybe export also to Germany, get them off of Russian oil and gas, and maybe our friends in Poland, and for sure the Lithuanians have already committed that they wanted to buy it off of Pennsylvania.
I was willing to.
So, as you can see, he has a plan in place. So here's why I say vote Republican if you want cheap gas. And that includes for our state assembly, our state, the Congress here, the state Congress in Pennsylvania, you need to vote Republican. If you want this bill, if you want this to go on, this is why you need to vote. We need a Republican legislature to be able to support Mastriano to get this done. And here's the whole kicker, because people will be like, oh, you're just chilling for Republicans. Hold their feet to the fire. If they get elected and they don't do this, guess what? Vote them out. Vote them out. So why am I also linking this to Dr. Oz? Because here's the whole thing. If you want cheaper gas prices when we get to vote Biden out of office, you can't have Democrats blocking the effort to do that. They're going to block it. They're going to try to block it like they did with Keystone. One of the reasons why Biden was able to stop it with his executive order was because they blocked it in the courts. Okay? So with this being said, if you want whoever the Republican candidate who runs in 2024, whether it's Trump, whether it's DeSantis, whoever, if you want them to be able to bring the gas prices down, they need a majority in both houses. And it looks like, pretty much the House is a shoo-in. But we have to also do it in the Senate. And that's where Dr. Oz comes into play. Okay. Now they're going to, they're doing all these attack ads. But here's the kicker. Fetterman's a liar. Okay. He knows that he cannot win Pennsylvania and be against fracking. So that's why he flip-flopped. And I'm not going to call it a flip-flop. It's a lie. Okay? Because when he gets in, he's going to just vote, climate change. He's not going to vote for fracking. So here is a clip from 2018 before he was running for Senate, talking about fracking. And it's a short clip.
Yeah, fracking. No, I don't support fracking at all, and I never have. And I've signed the No Fossil Fuels Money Pledge, and I have never received a dime from any natural gas or oil company whatsoever.
Let's hear that again. It's a short clip.
Yeah, fracking. No, I don't support fracking at all, and I never have. And I don't support fracking at all, and I never have. And I support fracking. Don't support fracking at all, and I never have. And
let's hear that again one more time.
I don't support fracking at all, and I never have. And
so he doesn't support fracking, and he never has. But what did he say at the debate stage? The total opposite. And even then, I think he was lying, because you saw he was shaking his head when he said, I support fracking. So he's lying to get elected, which is not a surprise. But this is a big lie if you want cheap gas prices again. Okay? If you want the cost of food to go down, it's a big deal. All right? So if you're in Pennsylvania, if you got friends and family in Pennsylvania, please encourage them to vote for Dr. Oz and Doug Mastriano. And also down ballot too, in order to be able to get these laws passed, these projects built. Because without, with there being an imbalance, it can't be passed. Because Democrats are so on board with climate change that they don't care about the cheap gas prices. They don't care about everyday people and how they're suffering from the high gas prices and high food prices. They just care about climate change. So, November 8th, this Tuesday, please vote Republican down ticket. Thank you.